Hi everyone, Drini here, and welcome to my channel. So over the past week, I got a number of requests from commenters. First of all, many thanks for that. I always like it when people request for cryptos for me to look at because I'm forcing myself to look at something new and really have to think hard on how to evaluate it properly and what are the lessons that we need to learn along the way. So in today's viewer requests, we're going to evaluate 3 gaming crypto tokens: OVR, MAT or My Master War, and Starship. But for everyone watching, before I evaluate the 3 tokens, I really just want to caution you on a couple of things about microcaps. And this is best illustrated by showcasing Mobox. So I'm sure a lot of you have not watched my Mobox video, and this is where I was talking about there is an inherent risk when it comes to microcaps. Because for microcaps, sometimes what happens is you get nothing for the longest time, and then suddenly the token moons very quickly. So in Mobox's case, it only took around a week or so for the price to reach 2,000% higher than its lows. Well, that's always a good thing for those who were holding around here. Again, like I mentioned before, the problem when you have mooning microcaps is sometimes their accumulation phase really tends to be quite long. The worst part about this is because it's a microcap, you have low volume of trading, so we don't know how long this accumulation phase will be. Across the 3 tokens and any other gaming crypto tokens that we will look at, as long as it's a microcap, just be aware that this scenario may always play out. That is the inherent risk of microcaps. So moving forward, just bear that in mind, okay? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at is we're going to look at OVR. So OVR, over the past months or so, it was pretty much on a downtrend until recently. So this was around October 27 when it started mooning. From the bottom of this range all the way to the top, OVR quickly gained 300% and is currently in the midst of a correction. Now, the key thing to answer for OVR is this correction over or are we continuing to move forward? The way that we will know whether this is the case is what happens to this triangle right here. So we're currently forming a descending triangle. If you break out of this particular price range to the upside, so let's say price breaks up to the upside and we break through EMAs again, then you have a short-term technical target of around $2.47. Otherwise, the technical target to the downside for this token would be $1.36. So if you bought OVR when it was still around these price levels, where one, congratulations. But if you're somebody who's looking to get into OVR at the moment, one, you may get a breakout right here. The ideal scenario is wait for the EMAs to continue. Once the price breaks out, wait for the support to be tested by candles to the downside before continuation moving forward. On the downside, once this breaks the structure, just be cautious because just because we have a technical target of $1.37, it doesn't mean that once it reaches this price, it will go up from here. This is just a technical target for this triangle, but if the downtrend is still strong, then we can continue with that moving forward. So this is OVR. Let's move on to the next coin. So I'm going to talk about My Master War now, just to see where we are. When MAT first started at around October 4, it immediately went on an Elliott wave structure. So you have wave 1 here, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Throughout that journey, from this bottom all the way to the top, it grew by 328%. Once it started this ABC correction, it has since gone on a sideways action. This is the tricky part about MAT. We don't know how long this sideways action will go. Does it look familiar now? If I go back to Mobox, look at Mobox, and look at My Master War. So this is just an inherent risk for this coin because it's a microcap. We don't know how long this will be. And you're probably wondering, then what's the problem with that? Then I'll just keep buying and buying. The problem with that is opportunity cost. So if the price action will really stay stagnant for a long time, you could have been better spent putting that money elsewhere profiting from the price action of that particular token, then come back and put it here. And if it's still undergoing price action, then nothing would have changed. So it's a matter of opportunity cost. But of course, if you like the project and you feel that this is the best game for you, then by all means, it's a free world. You're free to decide whether or not to invest in a particular game. But right now, we are still in price action. It is also in the midst of a descending triangle, and same thing as earlier, we will see where it breaks out. When it breaks out, whichever it is, if it's a bullish case, it's this, and if it's the bearish case, then it will be around here. We are talking about $3.24 for the upside and $1.21 for the downside. But whatever I said about OVR will apply here as well. Okay, let's move on now to Starship. So for Starship, this is a token where, as much as there is potential when it comes to the circulating supply of only 18 million and a market cap of only 63 million, this one I'm really wary about, and it's quite simple. So this is the logarithmic scale of its price action so far. But if you notice, from this bottom all the way to the top, the token has already increased by 64,000%, meaning it already had 641x. And that is pretty scary because this is even more than Mobox. Mobox only grew by 2,000%, and look at where the price action has led. It has led to stagnation. For Starship, there's very high risk that you may really be here for a while. So I'm very wary about this coin. So just be careful, okay? And just to further illustrate, this is what it looks like on logarithmic. I'm going to show you what it looks like on regular. On regular, it looks like this. So on a linear scale, you don't even see these guys. And these candles are really a parabolic rise right here. So if you're somebody who has bought Starship in the beginning, then of course, congratulations, you just got yourself a 600x. But if you're somebody who's looking to come in here, once again, it's very similar to other microcap tokens that we have looked at today, where you are in the midst of a descending triangle and it will make a decision soon. If it breaks up to the upside, then you have a target of around $6.45. But if you fall from here, then you have a technical target of $0.23. So that is why this is very scary, and this is exactly why you don't want a particular token to moon very quickly, because look at your technical targets now. The variance, or the distance between this and this, is a matter of 26,000%. And that's it. For those who requested for these tokens, I hope that this analysis covered everything you need to know pretty well. But before I end this discussion, I really would just like to emphasize that for those of you who are also looking at these coins, just be careful that your tokens do not end up as something like Mobox, because while I have nothing against the project, I'm just looking at it from a purely price action perspective. A microcap that has had significant gains over a very short period of time has a very high chance of very long accumulation. While that is good if you really want to accumulate that particular game, the problem with that is we do not know when price action will move significantly to the upside in the future, if it even happens. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, let me know what you think in the comments. If you also have other gaming cryptos that you would like me to talk about, just leave it in the comments below and I'll look at it. And that's it for me. Bye-bye.